Hundreds of people already streaming in. I am going to post this to my Tumblr because I said I would. Let's see. Oh, it's not even showing that I'm live yet. Okay. Let me. Hi, Rhea Cook 3866. Thank you for joining. Hello. I'm just posting this to my blog real quick so that my other followers can join. It's good to see you post. It's been a while. I've been following since Tumblr says maybe 2014. Damn! That is a long time. I apologize for who I was between the years of like 2014 until 2025, like probably like, I don't know, around like November 2025. I'm just kidding. Wow, that's a long time. That's a lot of journey in my life. I'm going to post on my Tumblr. I'm just going to say, here it is. If you are seeing this link, it means I'm still live. Come and say hey if you want to. Smiley face. All right. I put on makeup for this. How ridiculous, right? Hi, Sun Lake Rinsed. I think that I know who you are on Tumblr. Are you Sun-Kissed Optimist on Tumblr? Because I think I see you in my notes, but I could be wrong. Let's see here. Top chat. Hi, Samoan says 4820. It's good to see you. Okay. So I put it on my blog. I don't know why it's still saying I have one viewer, but there's several of you in here. So whatever. And great. Okay. Well. So I don't know. I had a request on my blog to do a live stream today. And can you guys hear me all right? And I thought, why the hell not? I just got off of work. Let's see. Ray Cook 3866 says, no need to apologize. I never witnessed anything unsavory, and makeup is fun regardless. You are looking like a Chaplin babe. Have you ever been painted? Oh my goodness. A Chaplin babe. Thank you. A little Paulette Goddard. Maybe let's see. You can hear me? Okay, good. Have I ever been painted? I've had some fan paintings done. Yeah, and they're always so cool. I've had some photography of me done. I actually was just thinking about this. I had some nude photography, like more like professionally done when I was, I don't know, probably like 15 years ago when I was in my early 20s. And I want to see that again. Like I'm still know the person who took it, but I don't know if they would even have that. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to get a hold of Dan at some point. Okay, so basically, I was thinking that since I just got off work and this is regular night for me, maybe we could just do regular night stuff. I did a video last week that got taken down. Can you believe this, for ED content, eating disorders? Because I was talking about how I have bipolar disorder, and that makes it difficult sometimes for me to eat. And so I was like showing myself, being like, okay, I've only eaten this much today. I need to eat more. And yeah, and they took it down immediately for ED content. And it's like, guys, I'm mentally ill. I'm like showing what's going on in my life, and it's like I'm not trying to eat an unhealthy low amount of food. I'm saying this is bad. I need to force myself to eat some pasta. So yeah, I was really disappointed because I did a whole apartment tour. And I'm in my new apartment now, and they just took the whole video down. And I've just been a little bit too pissed about it to re-edit the video. Speaking of which, my favorite YouTuber of all time, Amberlynn Reid, has been demonetized, and she posted a live today saying she was quitting YouTube, and I am devastated. But I'm not sure. Um, I don't know. I made a joke to my sisters earlier. I was like, Amberlynn is leaving YouTube. I am gonna walk my ass back to the ER to be put in the psych ward. Hi, Michael Greaves. Good to see you again, too. Hello, Melon Costello 7066. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. This is probably going to be just a more regular live stream. You know how my live streams are. You just follow me around my house while I do stuff. And I guess I could start with a little mini apartment tour because, like I said, my video the other day got taken down. Now, part of this video is going to be me cleaning up the apartment. So it's not exactly ready to view yet, but let's just get like a baseline for where we're at. And I do have a selfie stick, so I am going to use that. I'm going to flip the camera around because I am tech savvy. Okay. So, and I know that the moving parts of my live streams tend to be a little bit blurrier. So there is my cat Banks. I know he's a fan favorite. Hi, buddy. Oh, you're moving too fast. You're moving too fast. So this is my living room. That's my little desk. And I just got a television. Oh my God. This is the first time I've owned a television in 13 years. And the last one I had was like one of those little box TV deals that had a VCR connected to it. Oh, thanks for dropping by, Frankie XYZ. I am doing well, yes. And here is my new furniture. I was a little bit manic earlier this year, and I dropped like $2,300 at IKEA. Okay, so this is the living room. And then you look this way, and it is the kitchen. Here is my bookshelf full of absolutely everything. So this is the kitchen, and like I said, we're going to be doing some cleaning, so don't be too alarmed. But yeah, so kitchen. Wait, what did that say? Connect your YouTube to your TV so you can watch Girl World on the big screen. I have. That is something I have done. Okay, I'm going here. Here's my bedroom. Still rocking a twin size bed. Oh, there's clothes on the floor. This is a nightmare. Here is my piano and my new Charlie Chaplin picture. And this is a scary utility closet that I'm not allowed to open. Here is my work computer and the remnants of all the food I was eating today while I was working. And then that's my closet. I got big closets in here. And here is my bathroom. It is cozy. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. And it's a lot nicer than my last apartment. Plus, it hasn't gone through a building fire, and they're not forcing me to live in a burned out building. So that is great. Although I did have some problems today where, okay, so I'm just working, right? Oh God, God damn this selfie stick. It never stays where it's supposed to. Oh! Oh! I just stepped on my cat's paw. Baby, come here. Oh, my stupid fat feet. I hurt him. Thanks, Mink Hijab. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad you could make it. Baby, come here. I didn't mean to. Come here. Yeah, new place. I know, my poor baby. Come here. Sorry, guys. I gotta address something real important. I stepped on my cat. I'll be right back. Oh, baby boy. I'm a bad cat, Mom. Look at him. He got hurt. Are you okay? Are you limping? Huh? No, he's yelling at me. I think he'll be fine. I'll give him some treats just in case. Do treats make everything better? Yeah, he's meowing. Yeah, he is huge. He is huge. He's 15 pounds, so there you go, buddy. Oh my God, I never step on him like that. The dangers of live streaming. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, so good to see y'all here. And yeah, like I said, my last video got taken down for ED content because I showed myself eating food and saying it was hard for me to eat food because I have bipolar disorder. Yeah, kitty noms do make everything better, Michael. That's so right. So I think that the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make dinner. And well, I don't have anything fancy to make. I do not cook ever, at all. So let me see if, yeah, Calippi Rays, it is stupid of YouTube. And now they have demonetized Amberlynn Reid. I am a almost 10-year Amberlynn Reid stan, and I cannot believe the live she posted today, like basically saying goodbye to YouTube, and I am upset. Okay, so you can just watch me through this live stream and know that I am feeling a little bit upset about this. But let's see what we can make for dinner. Let's see. Well, nothing in there. Probably nothing in there either. So maybe let's. What would a Lindy live stream be like without dropping the phone? I mean, this is classic. Okay. As a fellow ALR stan, I call my cat by her name and add Lynn Reid. Yeah, oh my God, she's so iconic. She has changed the way that I speak. I was at my sister's house the other night, and I noticed that, oh, good God, I'm the most professional fucking YouTuber on here. Just dropping the camera every time. I was at my sister's house the other night, and I noticed that my niece has the same markers that Amberlynn had when she did that rummaging markers ASMR. And I brought up the video, and I was like, this is so iconic. Look at this. Classic Lindy slapstick. Yeah, you know, I'm a natural clown. What can I say? So let me look in this cupboard, see if there's anything I can eat. Well, we're gonna eat ramen noodles tonight. We're gonna eat some ramen noodles. It's fine. You know what? I don't even have cheese. I don't even have cheese to put on this, but you know what? I'm just gonna eat something. So far today, well, maybe I shouldn't even talk about it because they're out here taking down videos. I mean, good job. ALR literally is a child trapped in a 500-pound body. Oh my God, Lindy, I'm so happy you got a new crib, but also your old one had my heart. So iconic. Yeah, the old one was really nice. My last apartment. I mean, I lived in it for 11 years. You know, I wasn't there for no reason. But yeah, the whole part of the building burning down, and they never fixed it. Plus a lot of other issues with the building. I mean, I don't know if you recall some of my old live streams, but that building had roaches. Then there was a bed bug infestation happening down the hallway, and it was just creeping toward my apartment, and psychologically I just could not deal with that. And not only that, part of the building burned down, and then they slipped a lease renewal under my door. raising my rent 15% while living in a burned out building that they did not fix. So I was like, F it, I'm out of here. And now that I don't live there anymore, I can say that I lived across the street from Palmer's Bar, which is an iconic dive bar in Minneapolis, and Palmer's actually closed. So the West Bank, which is the neighborhood that I lived in Minneapolis, it just wasn't the West Bank anymore. There was no reason to stick around. Let's see, Min Kajab. Okay, but what happened to the hot gay neighbor? He moved out like 3 months before I did. Christy Sue 1228. I was so sad that your last video got removed before I could watch it. Why did they take it down? They took it down for eating disorder content. Because I was talking about how I have bipolar disorder and it's making it difficult for me to eat sometimes. And I showed myself, I said how many calories I had eaten during the day, and then showed myself eating more food to get up to a healthy number of calories, and it got auto-flagged for eating disorder content, and they removed it despite me appealing it. And so, what are you gonna do, I guess? I'm gonna fill my pot with water to make ramen noodles. And it is completely ridiculous. I completely agree. How stupid. I mean, it's like, it's one thing if you are like a pro ED vlog or like content creator, but I'm not. My entire channel is basically about, you know, living with a mental illness. And this is, you know, my bipolar diagnosis is new as of earlier this year. And it's been a new part of my life. It's been a big part of my life, learning how to live with bipolar disorder. And so, yeah, really disappointing that they are auto-flagging basically anything that has to do with I don't know, eating. I don't even know if you're allowed to eat. I'm making ramen noodles. We're not going to talk about calories or anything like that, because God forbid, I don't want my live stream to get taken down midstream. How do yeah, my hair has gotten really long. It's like way past like boob length, like from the back, like it is almost touching my non-existent butt. So, you know, I don't know. I've been thinking about making a change, but at this point, you know, I've had this hairstyle my entire life, literally since kindergarten. I mean, sometimes I've had it up to here, and then there was a period during college where I actually had it really short all over, sort of like a boy cut. But this definitely looks the best on me, and I'm a little bit worried about if I change my hair that it might, I'm vain, and I'm wondering if it will make me look older. Because I don't know, I like having young looking hair, and yeah. Although I've definitely aged over the past year. I'm not, gosh, when I started this channel, you don't even know this, but I started this channel when I was like 19 in 2007. And my first video was, I was walking, actually at first this was a cartoon channel. I had downloaded this torrent of the 100 greatest cartoons of all time, and I just posted them. I re-uploaded them. So this was a cartoon channel for a while. And then I started posting like personal videos in about 2007, which I've all taken down. But yeah, like the first video I posted was, I was living in Boston, and I lived across the street from the Church of Scientology. And I was walking down the street, and I saw these weird protesters outside of the Church of Scientology. And I filmed them, and it turned out that was Anonymous, like the group Anonymous, because you remember they started as sort of a Scientology protest group. And that was the first time I'd ever heard of them. And I actually just encountered them in the wild in 2007. And that was like one of my first videos that I put up, which I've taken down because it got a lot of hate, actually. Thanks. What the hell did you see that? He just threw something off the edge of the table. What happened? What did you get? Oh my gosh. It was the treats. Okay, you can have one more because I stepped on him, if anyone missed that part. Okay. So we are making ramen noodles. I should also eat something other than ramen noodles. How about an apple? I can eat an apple. So how are you guys doing? I know it's my live stream, so I talk about myself a lot, but how are you guys doing? I don't know where my lipstick is gonna come off. But yeah, tell me how you're doing. But also I have a story. So, I'm sitting at my desk earlier today, working, doing my accounting job. And I have my headphones on because I'm listening to Beethoven cello sonatas because I'm very fancy like that. And like, I'm just, doing my shit. And then all of a sudden I hear like this noise behind me, and I turn around and there is a strange man standing in my apartment. And I get up, I throw my headphones off, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, who the fuck are you? And so it turned, and then I saw the building manager behind him, and they were like, we were knocking, and I was like, well, I had my fucking headphones on. And yeah, I really snapped because I was not expecting to turn around and see a strange man standing in my bedroom doorway. What the fuck? I guess I had my headphones on too loud, but like, so they just walked into my apartment. I received no notice that they were coming in here. Apparently something was sent, but I did not receive it. And they were here to change the air filter in my room, but I cussed a man out today. I was ready to fight. I was ready to fight for my life against an intruder. And he got really overwhelmed by how strong I came on and left. And so it was just the building manager was like, I'm just gonna do this real quick. I'm so sorry. But yeah, if I could just like not have random men sneak up behind me while I've got my headphones on and I'm just working. I mean, I've been like very dysregulated since then, and I took Xanax twice today, so hopefully that's gonna start calming down. I took it about, I don't know, an hour ago or something. Banks, stop it. He's always playing around in my stuff. Okay. Well, the ramen is cooking, and I have a feeling it's time for my other favorite thing right now. So let's go back to the bedroom, to the boudoir. And I'm so sorry, I'm gonna try and look into the camera, but I've totally been looking at myself in the viewfinder. Okay, close enough. Ooh, and I gotta take care of these dishes here. But, so let me turn, this was in my video the other day that got taken down because of bullshit. But, so you can see my timer's at 5 minutes here, but you know what? I think that's close enough. I'm gonna put it back to a 1 hour, and that's so that I can have this. So earlier this summer, I don't think that I vlogged about it, but I relapsed after 5 years of sobriety on alcohol. First I did a experiment where at 5 years I thought, well, I'll give it a try. Maybe I addressed the trauma that was making me drink. But as it turns out, no. So I drank exactly 4 times, and the first 3 times were cool, but then on the 4th time, I actually wound up going home with a 50-year-old man named Brain and having like a one-night stand with this guy. Anyway, so when I relapsed, so that wasn't a relapse, that was an experiment. I was like, okay, experiment failed, I'm done. But then a couple months later, I was having a depressive episode. Like I said, diagnosed with bipolar this year, having a very severe depressive episode, and I was like, I do not care what I have to do right now. I will not feel this way anymore. And I went out and I bought some alcohol, and that was an actual relapse. And one really cool thing I did when I relapsed was I got addicted to smoking again. I smoked for 17 years. I was a pack-a-day smoker. And I smoked for 17 years. I quit for 4 years. And then I relapsed and I got re-addicted to it. And then I got addicted to vaping because the last time I smoked cigarettes, vaping didn't exist. And so you can vape inside, right? But that vaping's bad for you still. And it's like, you can really overdo it on the nicotine. Like I would smoke the vape until my feet were sweating from nicotine. So one of the things I've done is that I've gotten a prescription nicotine nose spray, which I can use once an hour in conjunction with also wearing the patch to help me quit vaping. Yesterday morning, I woke up and I had a vape, and I was like, oh, this is so stupid. I feel so gross from vaping last night. I'm going back on the nasal spray. And then 12 hours later, I was back at the vape store buying another vape, just another $30 down the drain. And this morning I was like, oh, I feel so gross. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I'm back on the nose spray again. So stupid. Well, while I'm up, and while my noodles are cooking, let's actually go retrieve those dishes from my room that need to get done. Okay. I ate 3 packs of Mentos today, which I didn't even realize had calories. But apparently, it's 10 calories per Mentos. Oh, I shouldn't talk about calories. Shh. I wasn't talking about calories. Don't let YouTube hear. Okay. Set you back up on the counter here. Yeah. Very good. So, one new feature of my apartment is I have a dishwasher. I am 38 years old. I have never in my adult life had a dishwasher. And it's a kind of like unimaginable luxury for me. Here's the cereal I ate. Dump that out. And here is, well, I ate a burrito today, but I didn't eat all of it, so I'll throw some of that away. And then, like, it's so simple. I've been washing dishes by hand forever. Now, I don't even gotta wash them. You just kind of gotta rinse them off. And just put them straight in the machine. Like, I'm experiencing a level of material comfort in this apartment that I haven't had since I was a kid. Because even though I lived in poverty for most of my adult life, I was comfortably middle class as a child. Even upper middle class, because my dad was a CEO, but then he died when I was 14, and so the money stopped. And by the time I was 22, all of the money that I got from his life insurance was gone, and I had to restart as a trust fund kid who had never worked for money before, and I was only qualified for, entry-level jobs in like the service industry. And so then I was really, really poor for a very long time. And I don't mean like my family was giving me money. I don't mean that like I had a cushion of money. I mean like I was like homeless. Like I lived on somebody's couch for a while. And, you know, I was an alcoholic too, so I was always choosing between cigarettes, alcohol, or eating food. And, well, the cigarettes definitely always came first, and then the alcohol I could sometimes negotiate with, but, you know, if you eat less, the alcohol works better, so. But luckily for me, that's all over. And now I have a dishwasher and a television, and I'm still eating ramen noodles, but it's because of executive dysfunction. Instead of, you know, being poor, I'm not poor anymore. Okay. I put the dishes in the dishwasher. Where are we at with our noodles? Let's find out. They're ready. Okay. I am draining noodles. Very good. And then, I don't know how you guys do ramen noodles, but for me, I completely drain it and then I add the seasoning packet right on the noodles. I like a strong seasoning packet taste, so one moment. Okay. Oh God. Transfer directly to bowl. Okay, and then one thing I have to look out for is that the oven range is really hot, and I don't want my cat stepping on it, because as much, you know, you can yell at your cat to get off the counter as many times as you want, but you can't be there 24 hours a day. He's gonna step up there. I'm so terrified of him burning one of his little paws. Okay, so I'm gonna add my seasoning packet directly to the noodles, and then we can sit down and eat noodles together. Okay, 1 second. Oh my God, everything I want to talk about could be construed as eating disorder content. I'm so scared now. If Amberlynn Reid can go down, anyone can go down. I'm actually so upset. I'm so upset about Amberlynn. Like, I watch a lot of her hater channels and stuff, but I've always been an Am baby at heart. Okay, let's go sit at a table. Oh, I knocked my fucking dish soap into the sink. Okay. And you can see my luxurious TV in the background. Okay. Yeah, I've been watching this TV show called The Tudors, which is actually a pretty old show. I think it's like 2007, 2009, something. But it's about Henry VIII and his 6 wives. And it's 4 seasons long. They get through all 6 wives. And there's some great casting in there. Sam Neill gives a great performance as Cardinal Wolsey. Natalie Dormer plays Anne Boleyn. And even little Henry Cavill is in there too. Okay, these noodles are very, very hot. Hey, get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Oh my gosh. Get. Oh. This is so skanky. I'm sorry. Behind the scenes. This is the table where I do therapy. So I have my tissues right here. And this is where I usually keep my stand because I do the therapy on this stand. Oh. I have 20 viewers. That's more than I usually get. My new apartment is in a very walkable neighborhood where it's pretty much safe everywhere. And so I've been getting a lot of walking in, which I need. Again, I can't talk about it. Can't talk about it. Forbidden topics. But let's just say I need to be walking more recently. Also, if you missed this in my video that got taken down, I was in the psych ward recently. Yeah. I had myself a very serious depressive episode where I had to be taken care of by my family for several weeks, couldn't live on my own, couldn't function, wasn't, well, see, I can't talk about it. I wasn't doing something, and it resulted in a significant drop of some measure without me trying. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, and couldn't function, couldn't work. And so I had to go live with my mom and my sister. And I was having some very, very persistent and convincing thoughts about unaliving. Okay. And one day I just woke up and I was like, I am beyond my capacity to help myself. And so I went to the emergency room and I turned myself in. And as I've talked about before, I was hospitalized for mental illness 6 or 7 times when I was 19 and 20 years old. So I stayed out of the nut house for 18 years, but it got so bad that I actually had to turn myself in again. And I was there for 4 days. Which is crazy. You turn yourself in at the hospital and you are essentially giving up your freedom, especially if you're going to be honest about your symptoms. And I went there knowing that, but I was like, I can't do this. I need emergency medical stabilization. And I got it. And gosh, what was being in the mental hospital like? It's just not as crazy as you think it is, really. I'd wear scrubs, I'd wear pajamas the whole time. And they are brightly colored, and I had a neon green sweatshirt that they also provided me. I had a roommate who was a woman who was probably in her late 50s, maybe. And she had really long hair that she always kept in braids, but she was there involuntarily. Some sort of court order or something, I don't know. And she pretty much just stayed in bed all the time. But I was more social. I made friends. And my favorite friend there was this guy called, oh gosh, Abdi Aziz. That was his chosen name recently, who claimed to be the greatest boxer in the world. But was there because he had tried to fight a group of 10 plus people and had been stomped within an inch of his life. Like the whole time I was there, he had a full blood eye, where the blood goes into the eye. But and he was constantly boxing. He was constantly shadow boxing and hitting stuff, and it was a problem. He had to have a one-on-one, meaning a nurse that followed him everywhere. But he didn't scare me. So we became friends. And you sit in there, you watch TV, you talk to doctors, they take your blood pressure, and you do art therapy. I made a collage. We had dance therapy. Actually, that dance therapy experience was really surreal because this was a little bit ago. And I don't know if you heard about this, but there was that school shooting in Minneapolis, right? And it was my first day in the hospital. I woke up there and they weren't letting us watch the news that morning, but there was this rumor coming in where there was a school shooting happening outside. But we, obviously they wouldn't tell us what was going on, so it was just kind of telephoning in. And we had dance therapy, and I showed up, and I was one of the only people who was really dancing. You know, a lot of people there are on ECT, which is electroshock therapy, which is, you know, it's different now. It's voluntary. It can really help you, but the ECT, it makes you it makes you slow mentally. It really affects you, so you have to be looked after while you're doing it. But they kind of like shuffle their feet, and we were dancing to this song. You know the song, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Bright sunshiny day. So I'm in there. I'm in my scrubs. I'm dancing to Bright Sunshiny Day. My first day in the mental hospital, and there's this school shooting happening outside, and we don't really know what's happening, and it was a very surreal experience. But I found out while I was there that the psychiatrist I had seen early in the summer, after I had my manic episode, because I went to the ER during my manic episode because I thought maybe there was something wrong with my body. I didn't understand what was happening. But I had been having these really, really distressing symptoms where I was only sleeping a couple hours a night. I didn't want to eat any food, and I was constantly in a rage, had tons of energy despite not sleeping. And the most dangerous manifestation of my manic episode was that I was road raging really hard. Like, I was driving really unsafely. Even despite like telling myself to calm down, I was still like swerving around pedestrians, driving 2 to 3 feet behind someone, going 80 miles an hour on the highway, like honking, total like meltdown status. And it had come to a point where I was like, I can't drive anymore. I'm having some sort of like anger management problem, and I have to stop driving until I can do that. And I read back like my last couple weeks of diary entries, and I thought, you know what, I'm having a medical emergency. So I went to the ER, and they were like, okay, let's go ahead and get you evaluated for bipolar disorder, which I tested positive for. And they set me up with a psychiatrist, and it turns out this psychiatrist had me on a subtherapeutic dose of bipolar medication the entire summer. She had me on 25 milligrams of lamotrigine, where the therapeutic dose for bipolar disorder starts at 100 milligrams. So she had like medically neglected me. So for the next several months, I was not getting better. And then I had this major depressive episode, and I turned myself into the hospital. And that was one of the first things that they fixed, is they fixed my medication. They started titrating me up on actual therapeutic doses of bipolar medication. And so that was one of that was probably the most positive effect of going to the mental hospital, is that I received the medical attention that I really needed. And and they let me out after 4 days. Being there voluntarily and being there involuntarily, those are two really different experiences. I've done both. Voluntary is definitely preferable because, you know, you're there for a reason, and you're there with specific goals. You're there to get checked out and to get medically stabilized, and they did that for me. And ever since then, it's basically just been meeting with a psychiatrist every couple weeks. I did a partial hospitalization program after that, actually, where it was 4 weeks of 7 hours a day at the hospital. I had to take medical leave from my job. To do this, obviously, it was like 9 to 3 every day. And so I would go in, and it was medical education classes, and there was some art therapy in there too. And, just checking in every day with the group, seeing how you're doing as a mental baseline, because, you remove work stress, and you make going to the hospital the only thing that you're doing. That's the only thing you got to do in your life. And then every morning you're checking in, baseline, how are you doing? And it was like very eye-opening for me, because I realized that my baseline mental health so unstable. And while I was there, they kept on increasing the meds that I was on, so that's good. And since I've been back at work for about a month now, I'm continuing to meet with a psychiatrist every couple weeks, and they are continuing to increase my meds. So one thing they did was they put me on Seroquel, which is an atypical antipsychotic and a mood stabilizer, also a really common drug for bipolar disorder. And they had me at 150 milligrams, but about 3 weeks ago, I met with a doctor. They increased it to 300, so I am now up to 300 milligrams of Seroquel, 300 milligrams of lamotrigine, also buspirone, which is a general sedative that I take during the day, and then also Xanax, which I am taking as needed, which was twice today. Oh my gosh, you guys. The chat disappeared, so I have not read any of your comments. Okay, wait. Starting Calippi Rays. I'm trying to draw right now, and it's hard. I'm sorry. A satanic mechanic. Your makeup looks bomb. Thank you. This is the first time I've worn makeup probably in a couple months. Let's see. Sounds like it was the handyman. Yes, it was the handyman. Perpetual cycling. I know about that. I'll have 20 years in spring. Yeah. Being out of the hospital long term is, well, it's an accomplishment, but sometimes you need to go back. Melon Costello said, nicotine is such a biatch to quit. Godspeed. I know. Oh my God. Like, I've said this before, but like, I used to smoke crack. I've done heroin. Like, I was an alcoholic for 15 years and I quit cold turkey. Nicotine is the hardest drug I have ever had to quit, and I'm back on the fucking Nick train. It's horrible. Mr. Fide, hello. Same boat, but doing a lot better today. Glad you're streaming. I'm glad to be here. Noodles are good, comfy food. They certainly are. Oh, you've got a pulled pork sandwich waiting upstairs? That's awesome. Let's see here. Samoan, sodium equals bloating equals farts. That's true. I've been taking a lot of Gas X lately. Streamboat 8688. I've never done seasoning straight on the noodles, but I have drained off the water to like half cup. Put it straight on the noodles. It's a stronger taste. What happened with Amberlynn? I mean, something's always gone on with her. Girl, she got demonetized. And she did a live stream today saying she's quitting YouTube because they're not paying her anymore. Not my girl. Where's the girl going? Let's see. Take us for walks. I would. Well, maybe I can, but I will have to be sure not to just betray my exact location. You know, I don't like to dox myself. Let's see. Minka Job, when that shooting happened, I swear to God, I thought of you, Mama. Yeah, it was really horrible. In fact, well, I guess this isn't patient confidentiality, but there was someone in my program who was a journalist who covered school shootings, and that school shooting put her over the edge, and she had to go into a psych program. I'm so glad, Clear Backpack, I'm so glad you got access to that support. Thank you. Yes, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. Minnesota has, Binks, God, he's always on the counter. Minnesota luckily has, and specifically the hospital I was at, which was Fairview Riverside, has a great mental health program, and just in general, Minnesota's pretty cool. Let's see, you look gorgeous, aspirational, stop. I'm 18. Can you leave this up so... Oh, I'm late, not 18. Can you leave this up so I can watch from the beginning when you're done? Yes, I can do that. I'm sorry that the chat... How do I pin the chat? I want to live chat. I want all the messages. Because, yeah, I don't know why my comments disappeared. I'm sorry. Look at me being a horrible live streamer, not engaging with my chat. Sucky. Let's see. Still eating my noodles. Oh. Go ahead, screenshot that. What if I had a reaction channel? What if somebody did reactions to my videos and live streams? That's a dream. Oh my God. What I wouldn't give for like a Goral World kind of following. Amazing. I mean, my internet popularity definitely peaked about 10 years ago. So, you know, I never have too many people watching me or watching my videos or anything like that. Like my videos, I'm lucky if I get 300 or 400 views on them. And my live stream, actually 24 people in here. That's a lot for me, actually. So that's fine. I'm not monetized. I do this content for free. It's just fun for me. I was only monetized for like one day, and then I uploaded a video that violated terms where I was I was getting a wedgie. I was making wedgie videos for money, and I uploaded one of them on here. And it was immediate. I immediately lost my monetization. I think I got like 15,000 views in a day. It is, I think, the funniest thing I've ever made. My sister certainly thinks so. But yeah, I got slapped hard by the YouTube community for that. Okay, well, my noodles are gone. So let's go back to the bedroom and, well, actually, let's go into the living room because I have some things to clean up and we're just following me around today. So first, I'm gonna take my dish and I'm gonna put it in the dishwasher because I'm so fancy now. Hang on. Look at this. Can you believe this shit? Ah. Wow. Did I lose my chat again? Live chat. All messages are visible. No one's talking. Okay, great. And so the TV, holy shit, having a television. I actually cried yesterday from how happy the TV made me because this is just, it's a level of material comfort I have not had in so long. So let's see, what was I eating last night in front of the TV? I ate some graham crackers. I think that this was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've been drinking a lot of whole milk. My apologies to the lactose intolerant community. I just drink giant glasses of whole milk. Taylor's cornucopia. You always replug the loveliest aesthetic pictures. Also, I like your vibes a lot. Thank you. Yeah, on my Tumblr blog. Still my favorite website on the internet. It's never been surpassed as far as content goes. It's the best format. It's like, let's see, make a job. Mama Linda, you're broke at 22 from dad's inheritance is literally me right now, girl. I'm working retail. I'm trying to learn the value of coin. Man, good luck. I had a rough ride through the class system all through my 20s. I mean, between the ages of 22 and 30, I never made more than $17,000 a year. Imagine that. And that was 2009 to 2017, so it wasn't that long ago. $17,000. Can you imagine that? I made it somehow. But it wasn't fun, and especially as like an addict, you know, a lot of my money was going to substances. Oh, I dropped graham crackers. No. Let's see. Taylor's cornucopia, currently working as a self-checkout attendant, so I get it. Oh, man, I'm sorry. You know, I did retail and food service for 12 years, and when I was about 28, I went back to college. I went to community college. I took out loans, went to community college, and I chose the most stable, boring job I could think of, which was accounting. Got myself a 2-year degree, and within a couple years, I tripled my income. And I didn't move out of the apartment building I was living in when I was really poor, so I saved up a lot of money. just from not doing the lifestyle expansion thing that people do. Like, because I was so used to being poor, and I'm not materialistic. So like, I don't want fancy things. I bought a used car for cash. It was like $5,000. Bought it for cash, no car payments. It's a piece of shit. And basically just paid rent and saved money for a while. And I mean, there have been points where that money has run out because shit happens and you have medical bills, and sometimes your building burns down and you have to move and all that. But I really do recommend going, if you're working part-time at all, I really recommend going to like a junior college, just get some sort of trade degree. And I mean, it can improve your life so much. And when I chose accounting, part of it was that I never ever want to work a public facing job again. I never want to interact with the general public for work. I do not want to cold read customers. I do not want to be disrespected. And the general public, they're awful. I mean, I know that most of them are cool, but I mean, the amount of horror stories you have working retail and food service, it's just not worth it. Especially if you are someone who is like mentally unstable, particularly volatile, easily dysregulated. I mean, it was a nightmare. And like, luckily the job that I had, for the longest time, I had a job where I sold custom futons for 8 years. And it was a custom futon shop, so you can imagine we didn't have that many customers. So at least I didn't have that many customers. But I was working part-time and I went back to school, and I have never regretted it. Now I just go typey. I work on spreadsheets. I have to talk to coworkers, but like they're just these suburban women who come into the city to work, and they are, no one's an asshole. Accounting is dominated by women. So like my boss is a woman, her boss is a woman, her boss is a woman, and then of course the CEO is a man. But yeah. See, Taylor said they really are. It's about to be Thanksgiving, so it's literally hell right now. Girl, I'm praying for you. I am praying for all of our service workers. Thank you for your service. And Godspeed. Calippi Rays said, God, I understand. I walked out of my retail job a couple months ago. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and leave. It's not worth your mental health. I mean, God knows, like, being unemployed isn't great, but, like, it's quality of life issue. Accounting, honestly, sounds really nice. It is. It's really nice. If you have computer skills, you can get, like, honestly, if you have basic computer skills, which if you're a certain age group, almost everybody does, right? If you can type, you can do data entry. You do not need a college degree for that. You can just, like, I recommend going to a staffing agency, like an office staffing agency, and they give you like a typing test, they give you a basic Excel knowledge test, and they will place you at a data entry job. I mean, like, and data entry people, I think that right at this point they're making probably about $22 an hour, I would say. So I mean, it's not bad pay either. Let's see, Mink Job Girl, I work at Pandora at the mall. Black Friday gonna kill me, but I have a hot coworker who's older than me, and I think he wants to be boyfriends. Well, at least you have a partner in crime. That's very nice. I wish that there was any hot people where I worked, but I'm pretty sure that I'm definitely the only queer person in the accounting department. Not in the whole company, But yeah, I've always been, that's the thing. That's the thing about leading a really adventurous life and then going into one of these square jobs where it's like everybody there graduated high school and then they went to college for accounting or business or something, and then they got married and then they had kids, and now they come into the city from the suburbs and they work their city desk job and then they skedaddle home, and I just have to pretend like I fit in there, and because nobody knows my backstory. They don't know, like, oh yeah, I've been to the psych ward fucking 7 times. I used to smoke crack. I was like totally serious drug addict, alcoholic for 15 years, and also I'm fucking crazy. Like, nobody knows that about me. They know that I have um, a medical condition, which had me on medical leave and makes it so that I'm sick a lot. But they don't know what that condition is. I save that information just for HR because, being chronically ill, there is ableism. And I know some people think that's a buzzword. There is ableism. And some medical conditions are more stigmatized than others. So, like, for example, if I had cancer, or if I had like Crohn's disease or something, that would be one thing. But to have my medical condition be bipolar disorder, that is still a very heavily stigmatized disorder. And so for legal reasons, really, it's like if they don't know what it is, they don't know. And by not disclosing, that prevents even the appearance of extra bias, and also just straight up there's more bias because it's like I work a brain job, I work a numbers job, and it's like I worry about the perception that my brain doesn't work right. And also I really wouldn't want people to know that, like, when I am out sick, it's not because I am feeling physically unwell, it's because I am depressed or I am so overstimulated that I can't do anything but pace around my apartment. Like, I do not want people to speculate about why I am out with my disorder. So that's my story. Calliope Ray's, yeah. Ixchel? IXchel. You meeting people in your new hood though? Like the move and stuff? I'm not trying to betray my exact location, but I moved to a neighborhood that is absolutely dominated by college students. The 99% of the people who live in this neighborhood are between the ages of 18 and 22. And so, no, I'm not making new friends. And it's kind of a shame because in my last neighborhood, and now that I don't live there anymore, I can tell you I lived in a neighborhood called the West Bank in Minneapolis. And my neighborhood was 99% Somali people. And I love Somali people, and I got no problems with Somali people. But it's difficult to break in socially with your neighbors when the culture is different and it tends to be very insular, like I don't speak the language and I don't, just socially I'm not a match, And so now I've moved to a new neighborhood where everyone is 20 years younger than me. So I like going on walks. I like going out into the neighborhood and stuff. But I've described it this way a couple times. I don't know if you've ever seen A Streetcar Named Desire, but Blanche in the movie, her thing is that she's 30 and she doesn't want anyone to know, and she's dating Carl Malden, and at one point they're on a date and he like takes her face and he shines a light on it and it reveals her shame of being 30 years old. And that's a little bit how I feel when I'm walking through the neighborhood. It's like, no, don't look at me too closely. But it's cute. It's very safe. So, you know, and I like the kids. Not to tell tales out of school, but I actually, when I relapsed, I might have taken a 23-year-old home with me. And man, the energy on that young man, I had forgotten. Um, we met at a bar, and he didn't believe that I was 38. I actually showed him my ID, and I was like, okay, so you're 23, I'm 38. I first came to this bar when I was 22, which means that at that time you were 7 years old. But like he was really interested in me, so I wound up taking him home, and I got a little taste. I got a little taste of the 20-year-olds. Not something I would usually do. Obviously, I wouldn't like seek that out. It was a spur of the moment kind of thing. Mink job. Lindy, should I move to Minneapolis? Like, I'm considering, girl. Well, you know, in the Midwest, and I guess in the country in general, Minnesota is a relatively good place to live, like when it comes to the values encoded in our laws, and in general respecting gay and trans people. And we have abortions here. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, in general, all things considered, Minnesota is a good place to live, and Minneapolis is a cool city. You have to be prepared for the fact that Minneapolis only has 300,000 people. It's not a real city. It's a very small city. But it's not exciting in the same way that like Chicago or New York are exciting. And it is, how do I say this nicely? It's corny. Minneapolis is corny. It is. It's corny. It's very Midwest. There, you know, the Minnesota nice thing, that's real. It's a lot of like, it doesn't matter how bad your art is, you are gonna get a standing ovation. Like nobody, that's one thing that bothers me, is that nobody is critical enough to sort of promote a sort of competitiveness in the arts where people are striving to really be excellent, I think, because it's very much like, yay, you tried. And maybe that's just me being a cunt, but that's one thing. But, you know, there's stuff to do every night if you want. And the people are cool. Minneapolis transplants here say it is notoriously difficult to break into social groups when you get here, because people just, they make little groups, and it is difficult to break in as an outsider. It's this icy thing, because the Minnesota nice, it's not actually nice, it's polite. And it's about not causing trouble, but it is not actually warm. It is not actually inviting. It's definitely very different culturally from other places in the country. So I mean, if you're ready to move somewhere that's pretty much Canada, and but with relatively cool laws, cool legislators, then yeah, you can come here. It's a good place to live. I'm not leaving. I've lived here for a lot of years. Live chat. Okay. Oh my god, how tall was he? Hot spill. He was, okay, so my type, I like guys, generally, with men. I like men who are my height. I'm 5'9". I like men who are my height and a little bit chubby. I like a little chubby, hairy belly. I want to rub it like a troll doll. And yeah, he fit the bill. I like guys with dark hair. I like guys with beards. And yeah, he was so sweet. He actually texted me to hook up again, but I was in the psych ward and they do not let you have phones when you're in there. So when I opened my phone, I was like, oh, he texted me. So I texted back, but I think that it was probably on like a 4-day delay and I don't think he liked that. Let's see, so he did not text me back. Samoan said, I wondered if you got ass that night while you left the stream saying you were going to go get some. I don't know, like, drunk me, she's a minx. She's so confident. That's something that I thought about a lot, actually, is that, you know, when I'm sober, it's really difficult for me to access my sexuality, actually. I have a lot of sexual trauma, and it's difficult for me to approach sexuality and to engage with people like that. So yeah, that's one thing about drinking that I've never really figured out sober, honestly. So kind of a bummer. Let's see, Minka Job, Charlize Theron's character lived in Minneapolis in Young Adult, my favorite movie. I've never seen that. I will have to check it out. Samoan says, do you watch Cornelius Van Gogh? No, I don't know what that is. Taylor's Cornucopia, chubby men. Yes. Yes. I enjoy me a chubby man. Muscular men, like super, like if you have abs, you scare me. No. I myself am chubby and I would like to meet someone who almost matches my body type because it makes me feel less self-conscious and also it's just nice. I like guys with a little pot belly. I'm serious. I want to rub it like a troll doll. Okay, Binks. Oh my god, get down off the counter. What should I do now? I didn't really... Yes, lol. I didn't really... Simone says, I tap out after 8 inches. I don't need to be a hero. Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord. I was... Let's just say, you know those interviews they do where they like go up to random women, they're like, be honest, what's your body count? And they're always like 8 or 4. God help me if somebody ever came up to me with one of those. Oh man, I had a list at one point, but I stopped counting. So I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've done it all. And yeah, there's definitely a point where you tap out. You just... There's just no need for that. Let's see, fuck you. Okay. Let's see here. I put hide user on this channel. Goodbye. We don't need that. I come on the internet to have fun. And I do not need anyone being mean to me online. My block hand is strong and it always has been, and that's how I've been able to stay on the internet for over a decade and have a good time, because I just don't tolerate people being mean to me. Because if you want to be mean to someone, I'm not desperate for views. I don't get paid for this. I can't with the haters, girl. They have no clue the Lindy lore. Oh, undress. Let me see your tats. Ooh, another one. Goodbye. Put user in. Oh, no, wait. I don't want to put you in a timeout. I want to get rid of you. Live chat. I am not going to be showing my tats. Oh, and I'm blocking the camera. This is really cute. Message retracted. Oh, too bad. How do I do this? Fuck. God damn it. How am I? YouTube. There we go. Hide user on this channel. No, damn it. Oh my god. You listen, guys. Here's the other thing, is that I'm on YouTube, but I am also old. I am also 38. I don't know how to do lots of things anymore. Calliope craze. What the hell? Hail the Nazis. Oh my god, why am I getting haters in here? Hang on. Yeah, hide user on this channel. Go to hell. What the hell? We don't do Nazis. No, no. What the hell? They're coming out of the walls. Who are these accounts? You're so right. I have no idea. You know, every once in a while. Every once in a while. I mean, being noticed online is sort of terrifying sometimes. I mean, I've gotten legit death threats, like for real, on my Tumblr, on tumblr.com. And you know me, I'm not controversial. Like I don't talk about politics. I don't really address like social issues like that. I just talk about my own life. And sometimes people really they don't like it when you are a sexually experienced and free woman. They don't like it when you are mentally ill. They don't like it when you openly talk about your feelings. And they don't like it when you're a woman a lot of times either. And that's just how it is, you know? So, I mean, the things people have said to me, like, you can't faze me at this point. I've heard it all. I mean, I had, at the highest point of Tumblr, I had over 100,000 followers on Tumblr. I mean, like, I was getting crazy messages all the time. But my favorite death threat that I ever got, actually, was I posted a GIF of a scene from a Jim Carrey movie where he had a fake chicken stuck up his butt, and it was like the chicken flapping around, right? And one of these animal rights people, contacted me and said that they were going to find me, pour gasoline down my throat, and light me on fire because of that chicken gif. People are crazy. Let's see, mink hijab. I grew up in a liberal bubble, and now working retail, I realize how a lot of people are still so backwards and xenophobic. It's astounding. Tell me about it. I mean, because when I was working retail, you know, I was working on the West Bank, in the West Bank neighborhood, and like I said, it's like a 99% Somali neighborhood. You wouldn't believe. And we were a high-end custom futon shop with a primarily suburban white customer base, and they would come to this shop in this neighborhood that was like 99% Somali people, and they would be thrown. They would be so discombobulated when they would get into the store. You wouldn't believe the shit they would say to me, which I won't repeat. But you know, it's very, very much real. It's very much a thing, and especially like living in a Somali neighborhood for like 16 years. You know, like the xenophobia, for some reason, Somali people are like the ultimate other in society. You know, they're black, they are Muslim, they dress differently, they're immigrants, a lot of them, they speak a different language. They dress, did I say dress differently? Yeah, I mean, they're conspicuously othered. And here in Minnesota, one of the shittiest things, you go on to any local news story that involves Somali people, and it is just xenophobia and ignorance the whole way down. I mean, definitely living in that neighborhood really was like a consciousness expander for me, definitely, as like a white person who grew up in pretty much an all-white suburb, you know? It's good to be the only white person in the room a lot, and I recommend that experience. I don't know how you just seek that experience out, but I want to use this nose spray again. God damn it, I'm like craving the nicotine so bad. How long do I have? Let me go check my timer. It's got to be soon, right? Oh my god, it's 5 minutes. I'm gonna cheat. And I'm gonna put it for an hour. Taylor's Cornucopia. A few days ago, I literally had to report some leads for just straight up saying slurs. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is the only drugs I'm doing right now. Ugh. Oh, and if you think this nicotine nasal spray is pleasant, oh, brother, you got another thing coming. Forget it. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm gonna clean up something gross in my house. You ready? Last night I had a really good day. Okay, wait, reading a comment first. I worked in a gourmet deli in the richest county in my state, and the attitudes of people just astounded me. Yeah, stay away from people with money, for real. Okay, so do you want to see something gross? I have to clean up in my bathroom right now. So last night, I actually was really dysregulated when I got home. And I will just make a mess and I'll be like, no, that's a problem for tomorrow, me. So do you know what I did? Hang on. I spilled saltine crackers on the floor and I didn't pick them up. Oh my God. Let's clean this up. Hang on. Switch it around. I'll put you on the floor near the toilets. Okay. So this, first of all, this belongs in the cupboard. What is that even doing here? My cat knows how to open the cupboard, and he goes in there and he sleeps on the towels. But, oh, saltine crackers, what the hell? Okay. I keep the broom in here because this is also where the cat box is. There's always litter everywhere. Okay. Okay. Exciting content, I know. And I'm done. Yay! Okay. Can you believe there was a Nazi in here earlier? Taylor's Cornucopia. This live is perfect for my cross stitching. Yay. Oh, that's fun. I would love to cross stitch. Fix the toilet paper. You noticed that, huh? Okay. I will. You're right. Don't be gross. Don't be lazy. There, so easy. Got it. Okay. Oh my goodness. I should eat more food is what I should do. I'm gonna finish eating this apple. Okay. Okay. I should put on more lipstick. The new apartment is nice. Thank you. It is. It's really nice. And do you know what one feature I like about the apartment is that it has 9 fire sprinklers. Like you can see probably 3 of them right here. Wait, hang on. How do I point? Fire sprinkler, fire sprinkler, fire sprinkler. There are 9 fire sprinklers in here. And as someone who just survived an apartment fire, that is meaningful to me. I'm like, there's lots of security cameras. I park in an underground heated parking garage. Okay, this shit is fancy. Out those windows over there, I can see the trains, like the freight trains going by. It's so nice. I've been eating like a crazy person. Oh. Guess I can't talk about that anymore, YouTube. I'm so bitter they took that video down. Okay. Let's go. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you for getting a new apartment. Thank you. it was difficult, let me tell you. Because like I said, I've been crazy this year. And moving in itself is one of the more stressful things that you can do. And since April, my life has been so horrible. April 11th, my apartment building caught on fire. I had to flee in the middle of the night, almost died in a fire. That's the bad way to die. And then they never fixed it, so I was living in a burned out building. And then my best friend ghosted me. My best friend of several years, someone who I loved, someone who I had no idea that I even had any issues with, was just like withdrew from me. And when I was like, hey, what's up? They were like, I just don't really like some things that you've been doing. And I was like, elaborate, let me apologize. And they were like, no, I wish you the best. Ghosted me. Totally traumatic abandonment. I have abandonment issues already. And then I had a manic episode, got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, was under-medicated. I had a depressive episode. I had to go to the psych ward. I was there for 4 days, and then I had to take medical leave from work to do a partial hospitalization program. And then my other best friend also ghosted me like a month and a half ago, ghosted me as well. So my two closest friends both disappeared from my life. I understand that I've been a little difficult to deal with this year, what with having the worst mental health crisis of my life. Yeah, I've needed a lot of help and I've been kind of intense this year, but like, I don't know, I guess I thought that I meant more to people than that. They suck for that. Yes, they do. That's horrible. What the fuck? Yes, it is horrible. You know what? It's like, what I don't understand is people who would rather cut you off completely rather than have one difficult conversation with you. Like, I don't know how people think that you can have a long-term friendship or relationship with someone that never involves conflict, that never involves talking to someone because you're not happy with something that they're doing, that never involves getting mad at someone and then doing relationship repair. But both of these people in my life, it was like they just disappeared rather than having a difficult conversation with me. And that's one thing that I can do. I tend to be very upfront. I'm a very authentic person. And if I've got an issue, I'm going to tell you and we're going to talk about it. And then it's going to be over, you know? Let's see. Ixchel says, you weren't even really asking anything of them or imposing on them. It seems like, so I don't know why they weren't just done. What? You had bare minimum expectations for real. I really did. I didn't even, like the first friend who ghosted me, to this day, I do not know what the problem was. They just disappeared. They gave me no explanation. They gave me a vague explanation of, hey, I feel like I've been walking around on eggshells with you. Okay, why? Which conversation? What happened? What made me give you that impression? Because that's not my intention at all. But instead of explaining it or allowing for any repair, they just disappeared. And then the second friend who disappeared, let's see, they saw a situation and made it worse. Yes. The first friend disappeared while I was having a manic episode. I had just gone to the ER. I was at one of the lowest points with my mental health, and they just disappeared. For real, traumatized me. Just because when somebody ghosts you, it's like a rejection as a whole person. It's a whole personhood rejection at a time where I was already losing my mind. And it's really hard to feel good about yourself when you are going through a very difficult time with your mental health. It's already really difficult to have any kind of self-esteem. And then the second friend who disappeared, we had an argument, where my best friend, was gonna go hang out with the person who ghosted me. And like, they didn't have a relationship outside of me. They had never hung out with each other without me. And it had been like 6 months since they ghosted me. She had never talked to them or never hung out with them since then. And then she springs it on me one day that not only is she gonna hang out with them, she's gonna go on a destination vacation with them. And I got mad about that. I was like, well, fuck my feelings, right? I mean, it's like, you've only like been here as I've been grieving that traumatic abandonment, and now you are paying money to go on a vacation with this person? Yeah. Yeah, what the fuck? Right, exactly. Apparently they did have a relationship that did not include you. They didn't. That's the crazy thing. They had never even hung out without me, ever. Not once. They had never hung out without me. Well, let's see, kind of icky. Yeah, why'd they even tell you? Like, they'd been talking behind your back? Yeah, well, apparently this friend who ghosted me had been texting my best friend the whole time, and she had been like blowing them off and like not engaging, but they kept on texting her, which is weird fucking behavior. First of all, weird behavior. It's like, you've already broken my heart and like traumatized me, and now you're trying to swoop in and hang out with my best friend, like literally almost one of the last people I have in my life. That is weird behavior, and fuck you. And then she like springs it on me one day, like, oh yeah, I paid a $40 cover to go up to this cabin in the woods with the person who broke your heart, and like, and I got mad. I was like, well, fuck me, I guess, right? Like, how could you do that? I mean, it's like, oh yeah, sure, just go up, hang out, have a good time. I'm so glad that you are still in their good graces and can like have a fun camping trip with this person who also you have never said a word in my defense to, never even asked them what the hell happened that they abandoned me, because like the lack of clarity on this subject is what's been killing me, never even asked them why they did what they did. And so I got mad. I did not show up as my best self in that conversation. I like to be calm about things and address things in a mature way, but you know what? I was angry. And so, a couple days later, we hung out, and I was, right away I was like, okay, let's just clear the air. We had this really uncomfortable conversation. And, I showed up and I was like, I wish I had been my best self in that conversation. I know that I was really emotional. Let's talk about this. And we talked about it, and we basically came to like a don't ask, don't tell kind of agreement. But then after that conversation, she got really weird, and she canceled on our next hangout. And then she canceled on the next one. And then it would be hours before she would return my texts. And then it would be days before she would return my text. And then it was 5 days before she returned my text. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I responded to this in my head, but I didn't actually respond in person. I'm sorry. And I wrote back like, haha, no problem, blah, 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 blah. and then didn't respond for another 5 days. And at that point, I messaged her, and I was like, listen, there is obviously something going on here. If you have something to say to me, if something needs repair, please say so. But it is not fair of you to pull away from me like this and expect me to act like I don't notice. And if, it's hurtful to me, and if we can't talk about this, then I need to take a step back because this is painful for me. And she wrote back and she was like, well, I have all these feelings about how you didn't want me to hang out with this person and blah, blah, blah. And like basically just, just said all the same things she'd said before. And, I thought about it, and I'm an adult, I'm in therapy, and I can recognize when I have human failings. I was over emotional when we talked about it, and when I got angry about it. So I wrote her a very thoughtful apology, taking responsibility for my part in it, saying like, okay, I get a kind of putting you in an impossible situation, but I have this involuntary trauma response to this person who abandoned me, and I have a deep desire to keep you as my friend, but I have this response, and I have to figure out a way to work around that. I'm thinking about it. I'm in therapy. And she never responded. It's been over a month. She just disappeared. And isn't that shitty? Taylor's Cornucopia. Doing this weird shit as a fully grown adult is so fucking awful. Yeah, well, part of it is that, and it wasn't intentional on my part, it just happened to work out this way, is that both of these people were younger. They were both 10 years younger than me. They're in their late 20s. I'm in my late 30s. And so I do think that there is a generational difference and like a maturity difference that I think has a lot to do with age. And I'm not trying to insult anyone in their 20s, but I do think that there is somewhat of a generational difference when it comes to just cutting people off, just going no contact with people, instead of having a difficult conversation. And it's like I've been through so much shit in my life. I have had so many complex, difficult relationships. Like I am used to working things out, and I'm used to self-reflecting and trying to be a better person. And I actually really am invested in treating people fairly. And when I don't live up to that, I feel guilty. I disappoint myself because I have morals. But I guess that for some people, it's just easier to disappear and never deal with it. And well, I can look myself in the mirror. I know how I handled myself. I know that I showed up as a grown adult who is willing to have adult relationships that are healthy. And those are the seeds that I'm sowing in my life. And the seeds that they're sowing in their life are going to be their own punishment. And, I guess in a sense I wish them the best, but, I really hope that they can grow up a little bit, because that's just no way to keep friends. Taylor's Cornucopia said, I'm going to be honest and say that a few years ago, oh, no, wait. The message disappeared. I dropped someone in a way I really regret to this day. That person did go on to stalk my accounts for months over it. I'm trying every day to communicate with my friends better than I did years ago. Yeah, everybody makes mistakes. And I also have a friend who I dropped a couple years ago that I've been thinking about, like, am I that person to them? But, sometimes you do have good reasons to drop people too. Like this person that I dropped was a thief, was a scammer. was really critical of my appearance. I mean, like, really not a good friend. And, like, they were very exciting and they loved me a lot. But, you know, sometimes it's warranted to drop a friend, but, like, at least explain yourself. Good Christ. Steamboat 8688 says, a lot of people will fabricate drifting away as if life put you apart, but they actually made a decision to leave. They just don't want to be responsible for that decision. I did it when I was younger too. Yeah. But it's like, how do you, I know. It's like, oh, it's just circumstance. Like, we've been best friends for years. We would talk every day. We were hanging out multiple times a week. It's like, it didn't go from 100 to 0 because life was suddenly pulling us in different directions. Like, we were such intimate friends, you know? And one thing I'll say, this first friend that ghosted me, you know what really sucks? Is that we're related by marriage. And so they are still on the periphery of my family. And that's especially difficult to manage because, like, there are people in my family who are still around this person because we're related by marriage. And so it's not even a clean break. It's so messy. I know it's messy. It is. It's really messy. Yikes a doodle. That's right, Mayo. My goodness. But, like, so now, I mean, these two people, they were my closest friends. You know, if you're, like, in your late 30s, you have two close friends, and, like, the people that they hang out with, that's your whole social circle, really. I mean, there's that post online that said, no one ever talks about Jesus's miracle of having 12 close friends in his 30s. That's the truth, you know, as you get older, your social circle shrinks. And so it's like, these are the two people who are closest to me that I hang out all the time with. Now they're just gone. And I've just gone through this unbelievable mental health crisis that I'm still pulling myself out of. And it's like, there's this looming thing in the future where I have to re-enter society and go out and find people in the world again. New people to be a part of my life. And I've done it so many times. The thing about me is that there is always another best friend. I am not even joking you, in the past 10 years, I have been through 7 best friends. There's always another one. And that's, you know, maybe that speaks to my instability. Obviously, I'm a common factor there too. But, you know, I was also, you know, I was an alcoholic. I was a drug addict. I was unmedicated. I was raw dogging bipolar disorder. Like, of course, my relationships have been, you know, chaotic. But I don't want to go out into the world and try again. Just go out into the city and try and pluck people. Like, you, friend, come here. Like, luckily for me, I have 2 sisters who were the same age, basically. I think we're 35, 37, and 38 right now. I mean, I'm really, really close with my sisters, so I'll never be without friends. I'm very lucky that way. I have close relationships with my sisters. So it's not like I'm destitute or anything, but it's like, man, I gotta be socially isolated again. It's not that I don't have friends. I do have friends. You know, I have friends that I see in real life, but it's like people who are not someone who I can just text like, oh my God, guess what happened today? It's like, we're gonna hang out maybe once a month. And then I have like long-term friends, like friends I've had for 20 years. But they are long distance. So we text, but they're not in person like, hey, it's Saturday night, I'm bored, what are you doing? Like, it's not like that. Let's see. Shell. Yeah, but even his bestie did him dirty too. Steamboat 8688. Do you have any ideas, like trying a new hobby or scene? I just got into pottery, which I don't have a lot in common with my class, but I'm meeting people and getting out there and open to opportunity in that way. Yeah, so my hobbies, I love film. I don't talk about it a lot. I am a giant film nerd. Um, like way more than you probably think. Um, and so I love the idea of a film club. That's what I did last time. I went on the Meetup app and I joined a film club. Um, but I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm still figuring things out. I think that's a 2026 project for me. Taylor, I have the inverse where I have really close bestest friends forever, but I rarely have an opportunity to just go out and hang out with some friends in real life. I don't know if inverse is the right word, but yeah. Yeah. I like being social. I'm an extrovert. I mean, obviously, I'm sitting here, I'm talking into a camera for the past however long. What time is it? I've been on here for almost 2 hours. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm an extrovert. I love being around people. And that's something that's been difficult with the mental health crisis, is that it's very isolating. And my relationships obviously have been unsafe. I mean, I've been abandoned twice. And like that obviously has really shaken my sense of safety around people. So it's like I'm going through this health crisis sort of by myself, where it's like I have an hour of therapy a week. I can talk to my sisters. I can talk to my mom, but nobody is here with me seeing or experiencing what I'm experiencing. And it's really bad because it prevents me from going out a lot of the time. And I am happy when I am around people, and that's been sort of blocked from me by my best friends being assholes. And yeah. Mm-mm. Checking on something on the internet. Oh, hang on. I don't know why, but my laptop takes like 25 minutes to connect online. Okay. Okay. Well, I've been online for a really long time, and I think I'm going to go now. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been lovely speaking with you. And you've kept me company, and I'm feeling better than I was when I got out of work. And you can expect me to make another video soon. I'm just going to have to try really, really hard not to violate YouTube's new policies, so my next video doesn't just get taken down immediately. But you guys have been really, really cool, so thank you so much for joining me. Oh, you guys are so sweet. All right, well, have a great night, everybody. I'll talk to you later. I'm gonna do the thing where I don't know how to stop the live because I'm a million billion years old. Are you sure you want to stop